Shalom, shalom, Israel. Right, first and foremost, I want to give a call halal to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Wamadak Yabushah. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which the world calls God, and Yahushua, the name of His only begotten Son, who the world only calls Jesus Christ. I want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men. They're going out there, they're laboring, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, doing all they can to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Not only that, they're enduring the elements, the 100-degree weathers, freezer below codes, and everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High. Shalom, shalom. Want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty children and teenagers in this truth as well, doing all they can to make their calling and election sure in these last days. Right? And shalom to everybody tuning in to the live stream and that will tune in, right? Most High willing. Right? The topic of this cold cut is another month being in this truth, right? The new moon, plus being grateful, man, through the spirit. Right? Tonight at sundown will be the new moon, if you didn't know, right? Or if you didn't know, okay, when is the high holy days, right? Watchmen for Israel and other brothers, they will be keeping the new moon tonight at sundown, right? And the spirit compelled me to do this cold cut while I was reading Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, right? When in the midst of me reading Second Esdras chapter 13, right? The Most High, through the spirit, the spirit came over me. The spirit of gratefulness came over to me once I read the passage, which we're going to go to. Nevertheless, we got to be grateful for these feast days that the Lord is, giving us through the spirit. All right. We got to be grateful. Now, hold on. Here comes Satan. 1 second. Right. Here comes spiritual demon Satan trying to take away. Do a wicked Eve, man. Right? She could have just went around. Nevertheless, we're gonna continue with the word, right? We're gonna continue with the word of the Most High, right? So let's go to Second Esdras, chapter 13. All right, let's go to the book of Second Esdras, chapter 13. So when you read Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, this is after Esdras seeing the in-depth vision, right, of the Most High. Right? This is after Ezra seen the in-depth vision of the second coming of Yahushua in verse 13. So let's go to Second Ezra, chapter 13, and verse number 54. It says, "For thou hast forsaken thy own way, and applied thy diligence unto my law, and sought it. Thy life hast thou ordered in wisdom, and hast called understanding thy mother. And therefore have I shewed thee the treasures of the highest. After 3 days I will speak other things unto thee, and declare unto thee mighty and wondrous works." Right, this is the point, verse 57. "Then went I forth into the field, giving praise and thanks greatly unto the Most High, because of his wonders which he did in time, and because he governed the same and such as things as fall in their seasons. And there I sat 3 days." So Esdras, he was giving thanks to the Most High after everything that the Lord showed him. And on a deeper level, right, you got to be grateful because the Most High didn't have to show Esdras that in-depth vision of the second coming of Yahushua. Yes, Ezra was a prophet, a priest from the tribe of Levi. Nevertheless, he didn't have to do that. And it's a lot of things, that the Most High didn't have to do. The Lord didn't have to have you see another month in his truth. Sound, healthy, complete. Right? It's a brother that literally just fell out the truth last week. It's a sister somewhere that literally just got the spirit taken away from her. It's another brother in Israel. He got smitten with a strange doctrine. Now he believing in things that's not in the scriptures. So it's the little things that you got to take in consideration and that you got to be grateful for. That's why Esdras, he was praising and thanking the Most High greatly because the Lord didn't have to shoot Esdras that vision. And that's us on a deeper level. The Most High didn't have to have us see another month in His truth. You want to be in the spirit of these days, man. A lot of times, the longer you get in His truth, things might start to get so-called boring, wax old. Oh yeah, I did this a lot. But yeah, you know how many new moons I've been to? Well, so what, man? You got to remember, you got to be in the spirit of reminisce. You got to remember the very first time you kept the new moon and the truth. How did you feel that day? Right? You was excited. You was ready to blow up your shofar. And you got certain brothers, they don't even blow up the shofar no more at the feast days. They just come together, eat, and just go home. You got brothers thinking the new moon is a damn Shabbat. Oh yeah, it's just a relaxed day. It is what it is. No, that's not the new moon. Neither is that the spirit. Right? The spirit of the new moon is what? Coming into the feast, a holy convocation. You can't keep it a new moon and you always by yourself. Oh yeah, I'm just by myself. Right? Yeah, I'm with the fam. Where's that? You didn't do that on your first new moon. Hey, the first new moon, I went to, all praise to Most High, was probably, one of the best days of my life. Right? It was in the spirit. Had the frankincense and myrrh going. Had the righteous music playing. Right? Brothers ate some great food. Had some nice wine. Laughing, talking about the precepts. Everything was righteous. They wanted to, I'm staying at home tonight. Right? I don't want to be with the other Aquas. Hey, what spirit are ye of? Right? Let me get that in Luke, the 9th chapter. Meaning, what the hell type of spirit are you in? Let's go to Luke chapter 9. Let's go to the book of Luke, the 9th chapter. Right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 9, and verse number what? Let me get get straight to the point. Verse 55. But he turned and rebuked them. Right? Certain Israelites, you need rebuke, man. You need to be rebuked. Somebody need to shake the hand at you. I mean, that's for all of us, including me. Sometimes you need to get the hand shooken at you. So the Lord turned and rebuked them and said, what? Ye know not what manner of spirit ye are of. Meaning, you don't know what spirit you're of. You're not in the right spirit. You need to check your spirit. Is it aligned with the law, statutes, and commandments? Because, again, it might be little. Nevertheless, being in the truth, I was just talking to a brother yesterday, man, on the phone. We had righteous conversation, and we just saying, man, I'm so happy to be an Israelite. Right? I'm so blessed to be an Israelite. Because when you examine the people in these world, they finna celebrate so-called Valentine's Day. People talking about that. The damn Super Bowl. They finna get into the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, who you think gonna win the game? They getting into these worldly things, still lost. Right? Still chasing vanity. Their spirit, they not thinking about the Lord. Extremely prideful. It's a lot of lust in them. Yet we in this truth, we have the knowledge. We have the understanding to receive everlasting life. We have these things. Yet we don't appreciate it as we should on a deeper level. So you gotta get rebuked. What spirit are you of? You got brothers down, man. Hey, you had a brother that was smoking on the new moon, man. And he smoked in front of the brother, and the brother didn't say anything. He just told it to everybody else. So it's a lot, of madness. Brothers working, right? Yeah, I'm gonna just go in today. It's the new moon. It's not really a feast day, like that. It really don't count. It's not like the Passover. Hold on, where is that in the scriptures? We have to check what spirit, because it's not gonna be a lot of feast days that we have left, seeing the times that we coming into. It's like chapter 10 and verse number 10, right? It's Numbers 10 and 10. Also, in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months. This is the beginning of a new month, right? To be better than the last month, you was better in. To change, I mean, that's all you need, really. This is another month in the truth. So you have to be rejoicing. All right. See that? You got Don Israel said over here in Trinidad, the people are gearing up for wicked carnival. See that? They getting into wickedness right now. But we ought to be getting in the spirit of righteousness. This is how we draw closer into the Most High. We're going to be rehearsing the righteous acts, pursuing the judges, right? The 5th chapter, verse 11. That's the spirit we have to be in. Because if you don't know, man don't know his time. The Lord could snatch you out of this truth any moment, right? This excuse my language, but this shit not a game, man. All right, I witnessed it. We witnessed these things with our own eyes. That's why if the Most High, hey, look, if the Most High, if he was to cause you to understand your time on this earth and gave you the exact day you're gonna not be on this earth no more, and as you should, a lot of brothers, they'll be on fire. Everything would matter. Everything counts. But since the Most High hasn't gave you the time frame when you're gonna leave, us as men, we get comfortable, laxy daisy. We just lollygag. Nevertheless, this is Psalms chapter 49 and verse number 4. Right? Psalms chapter 49 and I'm gonna start at verse 5. Right? It's the book of Psalms 49 and it's like your 39. Wrong precept. Psalms 39 and 5. It reads, I'm gonna start at verse 4. Psalms 39 and 4. Lord, make me to know my end and the measure of my days. What is it, that I may know how frail I am? King David, he wanted to know his days, meaning he wanted to know how long he was going to live on the earth so he could know how frail he is. Because if the Lord gave you the exact day when you're going to die and give up the ghost or your age, the Lord might say, hey, look, you're only going to live to be 26 years old. You're only going to live to be 30. You're only going to live to be 35. Then you're going to give up the ghost. You're not going to make it past 21. Then you would consider, dang, I don't have that much time left to live. Let me enjoy every moment. Let me enjoy these feast days. Right? The brothers. Hey, when Jacob's trouble come, it's not going to be no more, oh yeah, let me link up with the Akims on the new moon. God forbid you got brothers still trying to, hey, let me call this brother up. All right, let's get a venue going. It ain't gonna be no venues in Jacob's trouble. Ain't gonna be getting into some precepts, the scriptures. That big feast. You gotta get into this. You don't want to just, do the bare minimum. You got certain brothers, they eating cereal for the new moon. Yeah, I'm not really that hungry. And a brother eating Fruit Loops for the new moon. That's not how we did it in the ancient world. We had more than enough food. Leftovers, as they say. We got into it. Everything was righteous. Everything was smooth. You have to be grateful for these things. It says what? Verse 5. Behold, thou hast made my days as a handbreadth, and my age as is nothing before thee. Every man at his best state is altogether vanity. See that? At your best estate, you're still vain. Vanity, which is man. Let's go to the book of Lamentations, chapter 8. You know, again, Esdras didn't have to receive that vision through the Spirit. That's a mighty vision that everybody would never. There's certain people on the earth that would never see that. Nevertheless, the Lord showed grace to him, and Esdras was grateful. Because a man might say, "Hold on, that's just a vision. It's not. What's the significance?" Yeah, it's a vision, but it's a vision of the second coming of Yahushua. This is another month in this truth, right? For you to gather together with brothers and sisters. This is another opportunity for you to keep the commandments of the Lord. Right? It's not just about, knowing the precepts, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You got all of the breakdowns, you know them, you memorize them, shaking the hand to the other nations. Right? This thing is more to that. It's about keeping the right ordinances, high holy days for the Most High God. That's what it's about. Holy convocation. Getting out there amongst people. Not, operating in the spirit of shyness. Right? You don't want to, be occupied into all of that stuff. You don't want to operate into the spirit of, I am just, be by myself. That's a spirit. You want to get that experience, man. Nevertheless, this Lamentations, chapter 3 and 22, it says, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not." It's of the Lord's mercy that we not consumed. All right? See that? It's of the Lord's mercy, man. If it wasn't for the mercies of the Lord, hey, we wouldn't even wake up this morning, realistically. All right? Yeah, you might have prayed. You might have been on fire. You might have read, been in the spirit. You still don't deserve to live. All right? You might have did all of these things to the T. You still don't deserve. Hey, when you read Esdras, let me go to that quick precept. Let me go to Job 3. All right, that's a good precept in Ezra too. Let me get Job 11. Quick precept. This Job 11 and 6. It says, "And that he will shew thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is." This is the point. Therefore, that God exalted. It says, "No, therefore that God exaltively, lest than thy iniquity deserve it." So the Lord is gonna exalt you less than thy iniquity deserve it. Meaning he's not gonna punish. You really should be punished. You should be killed. We all did things that we should be killed for. But the Lord, he punished you less than thy iniquity deserved. Less than what you really deserve to get. So we go back to Lamentations 3:22. It says, "It is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." Right? Because you're blessed above others. If you're in his truth, you're blessed. Regardless if things is going well, things not going well, you got to appreciate the small things. And you in his truth, man. You in it. I can't say that enough. You're in his truth. If you be amongst here the people that's not in his truth, or if you remember how lost you was in the world, it's only getting scarier and scarier and scarier. You're in his truth another month. Another month the Lord gave you to be in his truth. It's another month to pray to him. Fast to him this month. Right? Increase more this month. Magnify his name. Give more alms. Renew your spirit. I mean, if I don't know what else to say, man. If that's not enough, then I don't know what else is. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. Chapter. It's like, let me get this precept. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras. Chapter 10. Right? It's the book of ear may comprehend. For thou art blessed above many other. And that's a lot of Israelite. That's you and his truth. We're blessed above many other. Now, Esdras was on a whole different level. We would never compare ourselves to him. Nevertheless, hey, you're blessed above many others. You have a home to go back to. You have brothers and sisters that you could call, that you could actually depend on. You don't have to worry about them telling your business, freaking off on your business, gossiping. You have a brotherhood, a sisterhood, right? You got all type of stuff in this truth. You have righteous gatherings. You're around like-minded people to get to the kingdom. Hey, certain people don't even have a house. It's people out here that's homeless. They don't have a house. It's people that's worried about materialistic things, caught up in a diverse type of lust of this world. So guess what? You're blessed above what? Many other. You're not in the same position. You got to really, meditate on that. Right? So I'm going to read that again. It says, for thou art blessed above many other, and thou art called with the highest, and, and so are but few. Right? Let's go to the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5. Right? Let's go to the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5. Right? It's the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5. And let me see. Slakia, 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and 8. Right? 1 Thessalonians 3 and 8. For what thanks can we render to God again for you, for all the joy wherewith we rejoice for your sakes before our God? And the point I wanted is, for verse 9, the phrase that says, what thanks can we render to God again for you? Meaning what? What thanks can we really render unto the Most High? When you think about it on a deeper level, your praise would never, reach his might or his majesty through the Spirit. So, seeing this new month, and not only it increases, these feast days get spiritual. It increases your spiritual, you on a spiritual level, right? Looking at the so-called blood moons as well, linking it up with the precepts. When you go to Sirach, let me get one more precept on being grateful. Then we're going to talk about the new moon a little bit. Let's go to Genesis chapter. See, Genesis chapter 32. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse number 10. It says, I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast shewed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become two bands. So we're not worthy. Jacob said he's not worthy of the least of the Lord's mercy. So the littlest crumbs of the Lord's mercy, our forefather Jacob said, hey, I'm not even worthy of that. So it's a lot of mercy and gratefulness, grace and mercy that the Lord has showed into us. That's what the Most High is going to do. But you don't want to take that for granted. All right? You don't want to pass over that, because you pass over that, eventually you're going to fall out of this thing. That's just being honest. Quick precept. Let's go to Sirach. Chapter 19 and 1, a classic. You don't want to contemn small things. Everything matters in this truth. Right? The small and the great things. You don't want to contemn small things. Let's go to Sirach 19 and 1. Right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and 1. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little, right? You don't want to contemn small things. Anything that's not of the Lord and not in the right spirit, you don't want to contemn that and say, well, it's small. Everything matters, everything counts. You have to program yourself with that understanding. Nevertheless, let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 43, and I want verse number 5. Right, it's the book of Sirach, 43 and verse 5. It says, great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily. The moon also to serve in her season. So the moon has, a specific duties and offices. These people in the world, they don't know what a new moon is. Ask your regular Jake at the job what the new moon is. A regular, hey, you know what the new moon is? Ask your boss that, you know what the new moon is? They don't know. You have the understanding. You know that the Most High made the moon to serve in her season. Didn't we just read in 2nd Esdras 13 that Esdras gave thanks to the Most High for governing everything in its due season? So it says he made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Verse 8, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. You have to meditate on this. Now, right now, you don't have the moon out because it's the new moon, which would be when you can't see it. Nevertheless, when you do have the moon out, whether it's a blood moon, a regular moon, you want to look at it and you want to meditate upon the precepts. Link it up. Say, wow, the moon is beautiful. Because the moon has a nice light to it. It's a lesser light. Nevertheless, guess what? The moon is crispy, shining in the firmament. Nevertheless, guess what? People don't know they don't have this understanding that you have about the new moon. Yeah, you want to have lazy, slothful Israelites in the truth cast the new moon off like it's just some activity. That's off. Right? Like the brother Ben Yahweh said, people in the world don't even know where the word month comes from, but brothers in the truth do. Exactly. People don't know where the word month, literally month, comes from the moon. Hey, that's a blessing. All praise to the Most High. It's a blessing. It's the little things that matter. You start appreciating the little things. Hey, everything, it's a good feeling. It's a right spirit to be in. Everything is in righteousness when you get a certain level. So guess what? You got to remember, the first new moon you went to. How that spirit, how happy you were. How you couldn't wait to blow up your shofar. You got, brother, no, I'm not ordering the shofar. Hey, if you don't have a shofar, it's a commandment. You have to blow up the trumpet on the new moon. You have to get a shofar. That's not an option. Right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 81. You have to get a shofar. I think this is madness. I was talking to this one sister about getting a shofar, and she said, nah, that ain't for me. She literally, and she's in the truth. She was in the truth, right? We don't know where she's at now, but, she was in the truth. And I said, yeah, you want to make sure you get a shofar. It's a commandment. She said, nah, I don't know about all of that. That don't fit me. Hold on, where's that at in the scriptures? Trumpet, and the spirit of the Lord came upon him. It's different sounds and tunes with the shofar. These things get spiritual, right? This the book of Psalms, chapter 81, And verse number 3, it says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed, on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel, and a law of the God of Jacob. He ordained unto Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. So guess what? You don't got a shofar. Hey, make sure you get a shofar through the Spirit. You need that, right? From Mina Israel, I was told only the men could blow them. But in the ancient world, you would have, like we just read in Numbers 10, chiefly the men would. Nevertheless, times has changed. Anybody could access a shofar. A sister, she could blow up a shofar. There's no sin in that. You should want to. It's a commandment. The Lord said, blow it up in the new moon. Nevertheless, you want to take these feast days in consideration with gratefulness. All right, that's the spirit you want to be in, just being grateful. Because it's a lot of things that you have that, guess what, a lot of people don't have. You will never appreciate this truth until you most likely out of this thing. But you don't want to wait till you're out of this truth to really finally appreciate it. And you got brothers going to sleep on the new moon. Right? We all in the new moon. We keeping it. Brother, he like this. Sleep. Everybody's eating and feasting. All right? They turning up and through the Spirit. You got a brother over here snoring. Right? Just sitting there. So let's go. Let me get one more. We're going to probably wind down. Let me go to the book of Nahum. Right? You keeping these laws, statutes, commandments is going to draw you closer to the Most High. It's going to draw you closer to the Heavenly Father. You want to strive to be as close as the Most High as you can. Right? It's the book Nahum, chapter 1, verse number 15. Behold, upon the mountains, the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feast, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. Right? So the Lord said what? Keep thy solemn feast. You want to keep the new moon, right? Keep the feast days, high holy days of the Most High. Get into the spirit of this stuff. Hey, WFI Detroit, shout out to those brothers. They show you how a new moon supposed to be really held, through the Spirit. Nevertheless, these feast days is very important. All right, you don't want to take this thing for granted, because you never know what you have until it's gone. Right? But with that, we're giving all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, Woman Yahushua. Right, Lord willing, you enjoy your new moon and keep it in righteousness. With that, we're going to say shalom.